everything's the name. Came through changing the game, doing my thing in my own lane. Every time you see me, I'm hitting them switches, sliding through with something super vicious. Who is this? Mr. Everything's the name. Came through changing the game, doing my thing in my own lane. Every time you see me, I'm hitting them switches, sliding through with something super vicious. Who is this? What's going on, everybody? It's Mr. Everything, bringing y'all lowriders and horsepower, you dig? Rain, sleet, hail, snow, or shine, nothing and no one stops the grind. Not even the haters on the sidelines. Today, we jumping back into Project Lowrider, you dig? So, gonna go in there in the auto parts store, see if they got the cotter pin that I need, and also brand new lug nut, because when I got the truck, it just only had 4 lug nuts, so I never really paid no attention, didn't get to really ride it that much. So about to get one of those, and then we about to get into it, you know what I'm saying? So hey, hit that like button, you know what I mean? Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, but if you have, thank you very kindly, you dig? So we about to get on into it. Check it out now. All right, y'all, we back. Got exactly what I was looking for. They got a universal cotter pin kit, so one of these will work, you know what I mean, out of everything we got going on. So now it's time to go outside, take everything back off, and then come back in here so y'all can see what else we got and how to put it all back together. So that's where we at. From fast whips to big rims to low whips, shined up the ride, will shine too. I play real hard, but I grind too. Hit the quarter machine to get a tree scent. About to enjoy the breeze in every corner bit. Sun's out, no rain in the forecast. About to ride as a reminisce in the past. Didn't have much but wheels and beat in the trunk. Always listening to old school G-Funk. What we drinking on? Where the kickback at? Check out the charger, roll the pass with the scat pack. Where we riding to? Only the road tells. Listen. Hit that front back, hit that side to side, hit that through emotion, show up the ride. No time for haters, everybody riding, hitting the gas, getting sideways and sliding, ghost riding, whipping everything from old to new Chevys. Take a trip to the gas station, then we roll ready. Slide the seat back and hold the steering wheel steady, cause in case you didn't know, we horsepower heavy. Coming with the heat a little different than you used to. See me every week on YouTube. If you got time to listen to that bullish, then turn this up and listen to the cool-ish. Who is this? Mr. Everything's the name. Came through changing the game, doing my thing in my own lane. Every time you see me, alright, so we're gonna get a little closer. This castle nut and the plate that's behind it, those both gotta come off. See, this stuff is already loose because I had already previously taken it off. So all we gotta do is get this off and move on to the next step. Alright, I had to make another run to get some extra stuff. Now, see this right here? We got this inside of this rotor. So, let's see, we got the inside bearing. Now, they come with races and everything like that, but this application, we just doing the bearing itself, not the races. So, the dome part, the top, it goes inside here, and then also you got the wheel seal, the brand new one. You could try to use the old one, but I mean, these things literally only cost a couple bucks, so you don't have to try to get it. So you're gonna put that in there and bop it down. But before we do all of that, gotta take that grease, you know what I'm saying? Bam, there it is right there. Gotta take the grease and pack this bearing with grease, and then put a little bit of grease on the inside, and then we go ahead and put the seal down. Alright, so that's what we're looking like when you get the grease in there. Now it's time to put the wheel seal in there. You want to make sure that you see this flat part right here. This is the part that goes on the outside. This should be facing this way. You can't fit in this way anyway, because that's why they make that lip, because that lip fits on the outer diameter. So you put that on in there, and then now if you got like a little wood block or something that goes over that, you can just take a nice little rubber mallet and bop that in, but it has to be even around the edge. It has to be flush with the mating surface to make sure that it's gonna fit the right way. So bop that in, and then you're ready to move on to the front. Alright, so this is what I do right here. I take a wood block like this, and then you take the rubber mallet, you know what I'm saying, and you can bop it. You take that rubber mallet, you know what I'm saying, and bop it. So if you look now, it's flush. It's flush. It's all the way in there like it's supposed to be. Look all the way around there. It's the right way. So it's in there flat like it's supposed to be. So the next thing to do is to put the front bearing on, but we got to grease it first, and the same way it goes in with the dome part facing on the inside of the wheel bearing. So literally the way we're going to do it is I'm going to go ahead and grease it. So you put all the grease all around here, and then as we then we'll go ahead and put it back on, and I'll show you how to do the rest. So after that, it's time to put it on with the plate that goes over the shaft, and then the castle nut with the cotter pin, and it locks into place, and then it's time to put on the caliper and the pads. Alright, so we're making some progress. You can see it's on right there. Now you want to make sure it's nice and flat and flush so it doesn't have any play in it, but it's just the first step. We got to put the wheel bearing in there after I grease it, put the cover back on, and the castle nut and the cotter key, and then we on to the next step. So that's what it looked like so far. It's looking good, ain't it? Alright, so now got that bearing in there. It's gonna be loose, you know what I'm saying? And what we do is now is we gotta put this cover back on. It's got this little, let me fix this. It's got this little dent right here, this indent. That's because it goes back on the shaft like that in place. And then you put your castle nut back on. And so what they say you're supposed to do is, let me get this on here straight. Alright. So what they say you're supposed to actually do is when you put this on castle nut, it doesn't have to be super tight. So you're actually supposed to, as you're tightening this down, as you can see, the wheel bearing is going in further. So you tighten this down, and you got to tighten it down enough though to get it to a certain spot so you can put your cotter key in. So you're supposed to tighten it down, and then once you get it to a certain spot, you're supposed to spin this, they say, and then they say you're supposed to actually loosen it up. Spin it, loosen it up, and then tighten it down again and spin it again. So that's what I'm doing. And so when I go to tighten this back up, now it's time to put in the cotter key. Don't worry, that right there, that's just all of the grease. And you can put the grease on as much as you can get in there, really, because it's not going to hurt, because, you know, this is going to be spinning on that shaft. So, you know, it's high temp grease. So you can put on as much grease as you need to. It's not going to hurt it at all. And one thing you need to know before you actually do put the castle nut on, locate the hole, which is right there, because that's where the cotter key is going to go into. So this actual castle nut does not have to be super tight, because of the fact that the cotter pin is not going to allow that nut to fall off. It looks like the cotter key looks like it's not that strong, but it actually is. So that's the reason why when you go to put this on, you want to make sure that after you do tighten it down for the last time, you locate that hole, because as you're screwing it down, you have to make sure that you have a space for that to go into. So as you're tightening it down, you watch it, and so you have to line up that hole, because if it doesn't, then it's not gonna go in there. So it's actually lined up right there. I can see it. I don't know if y'all can see it, but I can see it. So we put the cotter key in through there, and that's it for this part. Now I went ahead and put my cotter key in there. I used one of the bigger ones because of the fact that, I mean, you could use, I got the assortment, so there's plenty of different sizes in there, but I put a nicer size one in there just so that it'll have the strength. Now I gotta go find my pliers real quick, because once you put the cotter key in,
you have to see those little legs on it. You have to basically peel it back on both sides, and that's what locks everything in place. Alright, so this is what we're looking like with the cotter key in there. Probably could have used a small one, maybe even a bigger one, but doesn't make a difference as long as that key is in there. And then what we do is, I've already did this here, we spun it, so we got some nice spin action going on here. And you want to make sure that it's flat with the surface back there. You don't want no play, so if you notice, there's no play in that, which is a good thing. So now that we got this on here, put the dust cover back over there, because if you don't have a dust cover, go get one. I don't know how much it's going to cost exactly because I'm using the old ones, but you want to put your dust cover back over this, because even though you got a wheel adapter and the rims going back over it, as you're driving, there's going to be a lot of road dust and things like that. So if you don't have a dust cover, all the dust is going to get in here and take out the slickness, you know, the viscosity that the wheel bearing grease has. It's going to take all that out and pack dirt into there. So you don't want dirt in there. That's why you put the dust cover back on. So that's what I'm about to do now. Alright, so I ain't getting a new cover. I'm keeping the old one. So all we basically do is just bop it down the same way that we took it off. We chiseled it out, and now we bop it back on. That's how you do it. Best to have a rubber mallet, or you could take you could take like a little wood block, put it over it and bop it, just so that you don't beat it up too bad. Beat, beat. Alright, here we go. So let's back on there. Alright, now we got the new caliper. Self-explanatory how it goes back in. If you look and see these pads here, it fits right in. Everything fits right where it's supposed to fit. You look right there, hand a little shaky, trying to hold that weight up. Hold on, I'll say this thing ain't light. If you look right here, where you see that brake pad where I just pushed it together, where you see right there on each end, that fits directly where it's supposed to go. On this one, same thing. You'll look right there. If you see that tip there, there's an ear on both ends, and it fits there just perfectly. So we're ready to put that caliper on as well. Alright, now we got everything on there. Got to tighten it down. Now we got the pads right here. It's a little bit of space, only because of the fact that it's not completely tightened down. If you look at both of these screws, they're not completely tightened down. Now if you look at the inside pad, this little ear right here has to go on that. That's how it stays in place. If it's not there, it's not in the right spot. So, and then this right here fits flush with that. Let me get a little closer. And you can see that the top of that brake pad, which is right here, fits in there. So as I tighten it down, it's gonna come even closer. So that's where we at with it right now. I'm trying to back up a little bit for y'all. Here we go. There it is. That's what it looked like. She looking good, ain't she? And I did put the brake hose back on. This is something that you can either try to get down there and wrestle with it, but with me, what I did was I put this brake hose back on when I had the caliper off. That's the easiest way to do it. So, all right. So just like any other goddamn time, I get a job and I get going real good. I got everything I need. Finally, all kinds of power tools. I got all kind of stuff. This whole thing is done. Only thing to do now is put the wheel adapter back on, put the lug nuts back on. No, I couldn't get the lug nut that I needed because it was like 25 minutes away. I put a new set of lug nuts on when I can get them, instead of just replacing one and traveling 25 minutes. So that ain't gonna happen. So I was gonna bleed the brakes, but I ain't gonna do it this time for y'all to see. What I'm gonna do is, because I know all the fluid is out of the lines and everything, so I'm just gonna add fluid up top, and then either I make a video about bleeding the brakes or I won't, because I do not have what I need in order to get that goddamn bleeder screw off. It would take a 10, but my 10 going over that as a socket in the room to get it to turn, not gonna happen. So I would literally have to have like an open-ended wrench size 10 to be able to, you know, get that thing off of there. Either that or, like I always say, some WD-40 might end up getting that thing to get it loose. So that's gonna be done with this half. We can put everything back on, and this project is finished. Alright, that's solid. So I am gonna get that new lug nut, so all y'all that can see it's missing, but it's all on there. It look good, you know what I'm saying? So show y'all another angle. Look decent. Brand new parts on it. About to slap that tire back on. Y'all need to see all that. It's time to put it down. Drop it, give me 50. Bam, it's dropping, about to drop. Drop it. Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, she still dance. Look at this, for the minute since I've been up under this thing. Got to get my rag and clean it off. This is dusty for real. Where's my rag? You dusty thing. All right, cool. Let's get back to the program. So, with the brake fluid reservoir, it's empty. Not just because of that hose that I had to take off last time, but because I also forgot the person who did my rear brakes, the shoes, who shall remain nameless. When he did it, he didn't properly adjust the brakes either, and I don't think the wheel cylinders are even, I don't think the adjuster screws were adjusted on the drums like they were supposed to, and anything else. So the wheel cylinders, I might need new wheel cylinders and all of that, which that stuff should have been done at that time. So no matter how much fluid I put in there, there's still going to be a light leak because of the rear brakes. So I won't even have to worry about trying to bleed the brakes that I just did, the caliper that I just did, because it's always going to have some little, you know, air pocket or whatnot until I go ahead and get that straight. So yeah, now we about to put that cap back on, start it up, all that good stuff. Got it running. Alright everybody, well, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. You know what I mean? It's a long process, way longer than the time of this video. Trust me, between going back and forth to the auto parts store to get an extra part, hey, but I had fun, you know what I'm saying? I'm just glad it all went back on the same way it came off. And so next thing I gotta do is just go ahead and bleed those brakes. I didn't decide to put it on this video. I got some other stuff lined up that I also recorded today that I'll put on another video. But hope you all enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, you know what I'm saying? Rain, sleet, hail, snow, or shine, nothing and no one stops the grind. Not even the haters on the sidelines. I am Mr. Everything, bringing y'all low riders and horsepower. Until the next time, I'm out.